Yo, yo, what's up? It's Randy H, baby. I'm out here with my man. I really appreciate the opportunity. You know, if you ain't watched 478 TV yet, shame on you, for real. Nah, but I'm creator and graffiti artist of Park and Cloud. I love art. I love the people. I love inspiring people to action. I created Park and Cloud because I felt like there wasn't enough love in the streets, right? You know, I feel like, you know, our problems of the day has kind of like caused us to not want to be loving or not want to be a friend first. You know, it's always like scams and, you know, kill, 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 murder, murder, or I hate, you know, before, you know, actually acknowledging, you know, being alive and like being able to, whatever position you're in, being able to do something great. And like all of us have a role to play, and I'm just simply playing my part as an artist, you know, by creating Park Cloud, by being able to create something that promotes positivity constantly, you know. And that's what I do. You know, I promote positivity, you know. And it's just a love team over here. You know, we ain't out here to hurt nobody. You know, we ain't out here to disrespect nobody. We out here, again, trying to make friendship cool. You know, it's just, you know, it's a great time to do it right now.
Okay, we got Love Man in the building, man. 478 TV, man. Appreciate you coming through, brother. Give me any time, you know what I'm saying? We got a chance to, you know, get over with each other a little bit off camera, so you know what I'm saying? We like I told you before, it's definitely gonna be a good one, man. But before we get in, you know, the everything, you know, let's kind of like get into your background, you know what I'm saying? Let's get into, you know, the whole making of the Love Man, you know what I'm saying? Like where you from, man? Where did you grow up?
Yeah, so, you know, it's crazy, right? Because my parents are both active military, so I gallivanted a lot. You know, I've lived in like Puerto Rico, I lived in Italy, I lived in Virginia, but in '97, when I was 13, well, like when I was 12, going on 13, my parents divorced, and you know, we moved to Macon. So it's like 1997, you know, living in Macon. You know, like life was cool. You know, I had a stepdad. You know, he good people. And then I also had a younger brother, my brother Courtney. And you know, I just remember growing up in an apartment. Like things were just totally different. You know, because again, like my parents are active Navy, so everything is so structured. And I moved here in Macon, and at the time there was just a lot of fad. I think it's the same type of fad nowadays, but it was just in a different light because there were no cell phones. You know, there were no, you know, computers. Well, like internet, there were computers, but it wasn't an internet boom just yet.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I said, like life here was real cool. You know, I went to Apple, and then I moved to we went to Northeast, graduated, did some time in college.
Yeah. But okay, so you know, let's talk about, you know, growing up. Like, did you, you know, you talked about having a stepfather. Like, did you always have that two-parent household? Was it a time where you had, you know what I mean? Kind of talk about growing up. Was it like around what age your parents divorced, and around what age did your stepdad come in your life, and kind of talk about that dynamic?
Yeah, so, you know, so shout out to my dad, man. Like my dad was in my life from the time I was born to the time, I mean, like now, you know. But as far as in a household, you know, my dad was in my life for about 11 years because my parents, you know, started getting divorced around 12, 13, like 11, 12. Now, you know, we go over here to, you know, my other household, my mom, right? You know, my mom, my younger brother, and then, you know, my stepdad, you know, and that's here in Macon. So it was just, for me, a lot. And that's why I always tell people, you know, man, if you're getting a divorce, make sure that your children are receiving counseling, you know, because you're not just getting a divorce, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, your child is also getting a divorce, you know, because there was a time when I was growing up with just a household with my mom, you know, again, because my parents were in the military, you know, all these obstacles. Being an adult now, that's how I look at it, right? In the system, and the misunderstanding. You know, my parents married young, man. Like that's why I never was interested in marrying at 17, 18, 19. I was like, nah. Like, my parents got married that early. Like I wanna, you know, my mom always told me and my brother like, hey, you know, go view the world first. You know what I'm saying? And then do it. You know. So. You know, my dad is awesome, man. My stepdad, he good people. You know, that's my man. I love him. You know what I mean? I wouldn't let no harm come to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it was nothing like that. I think being a growing boy, you know, growing up again, like in divorce, I'm like, man, you know, like, we was just over here. You know what I mean? Like, now we over here. Like, again, like, as a child, like, you got to give your children counsel because they interpret it a plethora of ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know me trying to continue to not conform to my environment because that would have drove my mom crazy. Like, and my brother at the time was very, you know, he was young, so his mind was gonna be to look at me, okay, yo, my brother's doing that, then it's cool for me to do it too, you know. Yeah. So I just always was responsible as much as I could be as a 13-year-old boy because I just kind of switched into an environment that wasn't as structured military-wise. You know, I kind of was in this environment where, you know, like I said, like there were gangs, you know, and you know, like an area that I don't want to talk about like that, you know what I'm saying? Or just an environment, you know, like your friends, right? Like again, growing up in the military, a lot of families are so structured, like so, like you just don't see none of that, you know what I mean? Like now you go over here, you know, like your friend's uncle might be snorting a line, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I have friends that, you know, sold drugs, you know what I'm saying? Like, while growing up, I'm not talking about the 7th grade, I'm talking about just while growing up in the city of Macon. You know, everybody's lives are so different, right? You know, but to me, I'm just so thankful, grateful that my mom always kept us, you know, grounded. It's like she didn't lose me and my brother, like none of that. You know, like I was just real fortunate, man, you know, to be able to have a gift that kind of kept me out of trouble. I've always been drawing, you know, so that kept me busy. I wasn't no athlete, you know what I mean? Like I said, that just really wasn't my thing, you know. And at the time, you know, again, I look at how young my mom was, how young my stepdad was, and you know, all of us were learning and growing and like conforming differently. You know what I'm saying? Like it's this household now, and you know, my mom and my stepdad still together. You know, that's 20-some years. You know what I mean? So. You know, like we all grew, you know, and I'm thankful for being able to move to Macon because, like I said, it showed me two different sides of the world. You know, like the military taught me how to say yes sir, no ma'am, and that gets me places, right? You know, like that lets people know, okay, like this is a respectable young man right here, you know. And then some people, you know, they be like, oh, you know, don't call me that. Hey, well, I apologize, I didn't mean like that. You know what I'm saying? And then being from Macon, you know, it gave me that street sense, you know, like to know what's out here. When I say streets, I'm not saying like I was out here running and robbing, no, like I wasn't doing none of that. Like I said, I've always been an artist. I always tried to be, I was designing shirts, you know, within 7th, 8th grade, you know, 97, 98, selling them, you know, like to teachers, to all my friends that, again, I didn't sell drugs, that just wasn't me. But again, being in Macon, there was just certain things that I saw that I didn't see when I was in the military.
Yeah.
But like when my parents, you know, were on a military base, and you know, we went to school there, and you know, all your friends' parents were in the military. So again, it's just two different worlds. And I always tell my mom that, and, you know, she agrees. Like, you know, it's not like a street life, and I was in the streets, like I said, but I had friends at work. You know what I'm saying? Like they were more accessible. You know, like and I hang out. You know, like I see with them passing. But even then, I always knew that I'm an artist, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was talking to you earlier about us all having to play a piece, you know? I'm just serving my piece.
Yeah.
Like,